Man, I owe Berlanti and Go a huge apology.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but you got to be specific, otherwise it doesn't matter. So, what are some specific things you want to do Hail Marys for?
I believe you made an idle threat against his entire existence a week or two ago.
No, that was Kreisberg.
Oh, okay. Splitting hairs.
You said Berlanti and
Have to
Co.
distinct.
Kreisberg is Co.
I was just specifying.
Okay.
He's
Welcome,
like, I didn't wish
everyone,
one of
to
them-
the
he's like, I
Phantom
didn't wish
Zone.
both of them dead. I wished one of them dead.
I am Twitter's The Alan Muir. I'm a...
Is that your new title?
Yeah,
Twitter's
just call
own,
it-
like,
I'm Twitter's own The Alan Muir.
I'm the prodigal son of Twitter.
Okay, Greg Miller.
Hey, I'm Connor McGraw. I didn't open this week. Isn't that weird?
Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
Yeah. I'm Arlen Haro, and this is a good damn week.
And Hunter
I'm-
Davenport, his throat got into a car accident, so he comes
Dead
to
or
us this week.
something. He
Probably.
may join at the
Trapped in
half.
And then
Another
to replace him, the B-movie version of Hunter Davenport, Chris Smith. Hi.
Hey, I just want to remind you said that.
Hunter's already a B movie. Would that make you a Z? Like, does that make you red?
I
does that
think
make
It
you
makes me
Red Fox
Jaws
Hunter?
4.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Again, you said it, not us.
Yeah.
I would much rather be Jaws 3.
Man, you really hate yourself.
I'm very comfortable with my position in life.
Chris is like, I'm like the Fantastic Four of existence.
Actually, you know what? Now that I think
Which
about
one?
it,
Rise of
I
the Silver
would,
Surfer of existence. So
I think I would actually rather be Jaws 4, personally. But that's just me.
Well, Jaws
I don't
4
know.
is schlocky and stupid, so there's
Yeah.
something redemptive
Me.
about it, but not quite. Hey, it was finales week this week, and woo! Man.
Yeah.
Everybody, everybody went out high, even the Flash.
I feel like it's obvious where we're going to start. I feel like the audience has
Yeah.
no... I mean, guys, it's back.
Yeah,
Right.
Arrow's good again.
Yeah.
Arrow's not only good again, Arrow's just fucking phenomenal. This finale was insane.
It had what,
And
one
it
bad
felt-
episode this year?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even remember what it is. You'd have to describe it to me.
I think
or to Laurel.
Oh, even that one, like, I hated
was
it
half
going
bad.
in. It could have been better, but even that one, like, compared to some of the trash that we saw on The Flash this year, it was great. And trash that we've seen in previous seasons of Arrow.
in retrospect, like, Earth 2 Laurel's role now is a bit more interesting, so...
Yeah, man.
Although, we're not even sure if she's alive right now, so...
Mhm.
We're not sure if
if
anybody's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody's alive.
I mean,
The only people that are alive that we know of is Oliver and William.
That was a ton of explosives.
Where
yeah,
did you get them?
Who cares?
I mean, Chase
I don't-
seems to have the ability to get anything,
He's also a
so
former district attorney. I'm sure he has connections somewhere.
yeah. And he trained with what I'm calling the League of Shadows, since they aren't the League of Assassins. I'm going to give them that title.
Of Shadow. Sorry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I am almost positive we did see 2 recurring characters die, albeit off screen.
Yeah, we saw 2 Harknesses die at the same time.
Yes,
So
which is a bummer because I like Captain Boomerang and I really like Malcolm, and I'm pretty sure they're both dead.
yep, at least one of them is
Because
dead.
if they didn't make it out of that explosion, I don't think they made it out of the other 110.
I mean, what a great way to end it. Where if everybody does die, that's how you restart the show.
That's how
You
you
know?
end the show too. I mean,
No,
this like
I have a
this-
theory that they thought that after the critical response to seasons 3 and 4, they weren't going to get picked up for season 6, and so this was their way of writing an ending.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Season 6 has already been announced, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
but
has.
it was like halfway through the season.
I mean, I could see them, like,
Yeah.
the writer just being like, hey, last season and season before, we weren't exactly met with, universal praise. If we're going to do something, let's do it big. And, in case it is the last thing we do, make sure it's massive.
Yeah,
and this is undeniably massive. This is huge.
This is movie level.
This is a class reunion. First of all, this has brought in lots of people.
Yeah, I mean, everybody who was alive from previous seasons shows up.
And our flashbacks came full circle. Like,
well, we got a scene that wasn't really in the flashbacks. I mean, it wasn't.
It's like retconning in flashbacks, like, because even still, when you watch it in sequence, it doesn't make any sense because like Oliver goes from having like moderate long hair and like some stubble to having like dreadlocks and a full beard.
Yeah, no, it was just a long-haired wig and a fake beard.
Was it? I think I missed that because I thought it was fake, but I also was like, did he just grow hair in a couple minutes?
Remember what?
And it's like a costume wig. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I missed that one moment.
Anatoly said in the last episode and last week's episode, or no, it was a week. Maybe it was the week before that. They don't have barbershop on island.
Yeah.
I like Anatoly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't leave the island this whole episode, really.
Not really. It's the island the entire time, which is why the title is pretty perfect. It's really. I think it's a really well done episode.
And there was a lot of chatter that Manu Bennett was not going to be present the whole time. That he had a big scheduling conflict. And there was there's a reason you see him in the costume a lot. And then we saw him unmasked for a majority of the episode. So I guess he was he was fully committed to this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's been established, like, I'm still sort of catching up on Arrow, because there's a lot of TV to catch up on while doing this. And so my experiences with Deathstroke in the show are kind of few and far between, but man, he's good.
Yeah.
Now I know why everybody likes Manu Bennett so much.
Well, he was also he was great on Spartacus.
Yeah. He's great on everything that
he was on Spartacus?
Yeah.
Oh, that explains some of the cred, I suppose, or his on-screen presence. Also, it was just cool to see him be like, "Hey, I murdered your mother. Sorry about that."
Yeah.
Fun fact: Stephen Amell, when he auditioned for Spartacus after what was the name of the original star of the show?
The one who died?
Yeah.
Jamie something, I want to say.
I don't remember.
I want to say it was Andy something.
No, you're right. It's
Andy Whitfield.
Yeah.
But it was the last two were Amell and is it Liam McIntyre?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, isn't Katrina Law also on Arrow? She looks
There's
familiar.
there's a lot of Spartacus alums.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Waller, she was also on Spartacus, I guess.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And even Digger Harkness, I guess he's a Spartacus guy also.
But Stephen Amell, one of the people he auditioned with, like he was doing a reading with Manu Bennett.
Oh, okay.
So
they have history. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which tells me that they knew Slade was going to be a villain, like even then. That's interesting.
Yeah, we got right rolling with Malcolm, Slade, and Anissa?
Nissa.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nissa, like right along, and that just kind of within about 6-7 minutes, we already had our first action sequence, and it just fucking builds and builds and builds and builds.
All right, talking about Oliver punching, like side punching or bitch slapping the Argus security guy, or the plane explosion.
So many things. So many things
it's
happen.
like
there are so many set pieces in this episode.
I was referring to when they caged Artemis, who seems to just be like Artemis. If there's one negative I have to say is that Artemis is probably the most wasted character this season.
Yeah,
she could literally just been a henchman, and like otherwise she's just there to it's like it doesn't help that she has made 2 appearances since she was exposed as the traitor.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. Her best moment is her fake death.
And the moments leading up to it.
Yeah, that's like her best stuff in this entire season, and everything else is trash to mediocre.
Also, no Ragman.
Yeah, that was surprising, but I get the feeling that
he could be the season 6 premiere, so he could save everybody.
Yeah, like he's the what's it called? The Hand of God. But the
Deus Ex Ragman.
Yeah.
Just a giant rag covers the island.
Oh, God, that would be great.
God,
That would be so terrible.
I mean, I have a theory of how they're going to get out of this. Barry's just going to show up.
No, because
they've done this before. And it's not exactly real time, because Barry showed up in the Arrow Season 3 finale, and it was supposed to take place before Zoom. So they don't all, like, take place one day after the other.
These shows don't happen congruently, especially when you look at Legends of Tomorrow, because Legends of Tomorrow happens literally outside of time itself.
Yeah. So Oliver could have called Barry and, like, I don't know, hit a beacon calling him, and it happened, I don't know, right after he defeated Savitar and before the storms and stuff. I don't know. Another theory that I've heard is that maybe Slade knows about, like, some sort of secret bunker on the island, and that
was my big thing, is that Slade probably knows that island better than, we think he does. And Oliver even said, he's like, Slade knows the way, so he probably had something in mind.
Yeah. And it's obvious that there's stuff that we've never seen, because that temple was something that they never explored in 5 years. So who knows? There could be all kinds of stuff on that island.
Also, has nothing to do with it. But I was watching clips from season 1. Man, that fight with him and Billy Wintergreen.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get the caged Artemis, and that's about it. Because Harkness betrayed everybody. So yeah, that's Boomerang was the first
of many double crosses.
Yeah, sometimes triple crosses.
Like when Slade turned bad, I was like, okay, I saw this coming. But I was like, he's also going to turn back again because that's Slade.
What are you, triple agent?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite line from Crystal Skull. It's the only good line. So we got from there, and then Chase showed up shortly after, and then everything just goes fucking bananas.
I got pretty disappointed because I thought Harkness was gonna make it off Lianyu.
Nope.
No, for Flash season 4.
Oh, okay.
They did it like rogues as some of the villains. Like
you can easily just pass the name Captain Boomerang on to somebody else, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Digger did have a son in the comics.
There you go.
Yeah, and it could just be some random Australian guy too.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, and I thought Thea had her best moment of the season. I mean, she wasn't in the season a ton.
I would say she took a break. Like she was present for a few episodes at a time.
Yeah, but she was really good when she's reacting to Malcolm's death, and I thought her reaction played fairly real for a CW show.
Hang on, I think Hunter will be joining us momentarily. Yay, all of us are here. All right.
Oh, man, I was right. He passed out, that little bitch.
He's very reliable. The entire Malcolm bit, I think we all telegraphed because Alan said he was not going to be signed on for the next season, so we figured he would have some kind of exit, and this looked like it was it, even if it was on screen. And I know that, the unwritten rule is like no body, no death.
Well,
yeah.
I read something on, I think, either comicbook.com or comicbook CBR that said this John Barrowman has exited the Arrowverse. He's dead.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah. I don't believe it. I think that they'll find a way to bring him back in some way.
But
with time travel and stuff. I don't know.
But I really wish...
Again, also, no death. I mean, no body, no confirmed death. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Especially when you die, when your supposed death is, an off-screen explosion in the distance. That's very vague.
Yeah.
I like that whole sequence. Actually, Malcolm was kind of killing me the whole episode, just everything he was doing. I like when, early in the episode, when, I can't remember what prompted to say it, but he's like, yeah, clapping for me is a little difficult lately, and, he shows his fucking fake hand.
Yeah. He's so good with the comedy.
Snarky.
Yeah, he's great. I love him and Katrina Law. Their quibbing is I just love it. They're so funny together.
Aha! Prodigal Son returns.
I'm back.
Son of a bitch.
I'm so sorry.
You know, fucking come to...
We're an
Okay.
hour talk, Hunter.
I was so ready to go tonight, and then I got home from work, and I just fucking.
You missed it. Chris basically degraded himself.
Chris called himself the Jaws 4 he called himself the B movie version of you, and then I said, you're already a B movie, and then he said he was Jaws 4. Which ouch.
It happened. I'm not that disappointed in that moment. I'm pretty proud
Hunter,
of it.
we're just in Arrow Talk. We're kind of not even the halfway point of the episode at this point.
Yeah.
Discussing what happened, because so much fucking happened in this episode.
Adrian Chase, the evil motherfucker.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he is.
The devious motherfucker.
He's
sinister.
God tier in this.
He is right up there with Thawne as far as really just effective, damn evil Arrowverse villains.
He's right there with...
He is the best Arrow villain ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At this point in time, I think he is the most evil dude in that universe.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Halfway through, I was like, he took over. He took Slade's place.
When he says your son is dead, I was like, we are really close to the end of this episode. I'm like, if this sticks, this is the most heinous thing a bad guy has done on this TV universe. Aside from killing Barry's mom, that's intense. He killed a child.
Hey, there's still the possibility of someone getting fridged.
Oh, I'm counting on the fact that somebody, at least one person, isn't making off that island.
Yeah, someone's dying. It's just going to be whoever they feel. I wouldn't be surprised if at least 2 people die.
It's going to I guarantee you, it's probably going to be William's mom. Can't remember her name.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, because
how many people have died in these CW shows? I feel like in every show, someone has at least died once. In this.
Yeah, there's at least one death per show, except for Supergirl, maybe.
Yeah.
Supergirl tends to. Yeah, they tend to not do deaths.
Supergirl tends to stay above water when it comes to bleakness.
Yeah.
If you introduce that into the show, the show just breaks.
Do you not remember?
It comes to DCEU.
Yeah.
Their deaths are all villains, and it was her aunt last season.
Her aunt was the only one person. She was pretty much the other person that got killed. No, I know.
Yeah. And this season,
Metallo.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Metallo did die.
So did the Asian.
But I was convinced and kind of at the edge of my seat. I'm like, he killed his fucking son.
Yeah.
And then this entire chain of events from when they get inside that church, all the way to the end, is just like Alan said, there's so many set pieces in this episode. And then that's not including the flashbacks. The flashbacks are nuts. The flashbacks is basically one big chase sequence where fucking Oliver is predatoring people on this island.
Yeah. And then it's him fighting
Kovar.
It's him. Yeah. I was going to say his name from Rocky 4, but yeah,
Drago.
And it's a really good fight too.
Well, because like I said, the flashbacks have come full circle. The flashbacks came full circle to the point where it was lining up thematically with the fight with Chase.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Which is they've done that before, but it was so good this time. It was so good. I mean,
because they show you how back then he had no problems killing that dude, and now he's like, no, I won't do that anymore. I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah, his face is red, and he's like, I can't do this. I can't.
And and he's acting wise he fucking wants to. He really does, but he just won't because they'll lose.
Yeah, it's so good.
Also, if he did it there, the show would have been over. The episode would have been over a lot sooner because then everybody would be blown up.
Yeah, because they
confirmed.
He got chemied.
Yeah,
you Lost fans don't know what I'm talking about.
I have no clue.
Basically, what Adrian Chase did, they did that in season 4 of Lost. That was the Lost finale.
And then we mentioned Slade does his triple turn. And I think that comment made on Facebook where it's everybody breaks into 1-on-1 fights, and then Slade fights 4 people at once and wins.
Yeah, that was
No, he takes out the 4 people at once. There's no part of it is considered
It
a
wasn't
fight.
a fight. It was a one-sided beatdown.
Everybody else is
a roller coaster of emotions. That was.
yeah, like everybody else is just one-on-one fights, and they're like having a hard time. He just comes in and slices down 4 guys, and I was like,
I also got a big kick out of Quentin knocking out Earth 2 Laurel because I feel like that's vindication for the audience and for him.
"Yep."
Because we're like, "Fuck yeah!"
Also, right before
His line,
his line naming her Black Canary, right
Yep.
before Dinah Drake Canary
Yeah, that was
cried
really
the chain or the spot where all their chains were.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is really good. Like
I
that's
love
a,
the double Canary cry.
I was about to say the Kamehameha Clash Canary cry was really cool.
we got a lot of those this week. But yeah, that was really good.
Wait till I talk about that Flash 10-minute stretch of just
Well,
awesome.
I was thinking of Supergirl with the 2 laser beams, but yeah.
Yeah,
that happened multiple times.
yeah, it did.
Yeah, but there's one time it happens when I'm like, this looks like the movies. This is so good. Yeah.
No, but like you said, this was like a movie. This was like this felt like
Yeah, this felt like a...
This felt more like Nolan's Batman than this season has. This show has. And this, let's be real. This show is very derivative of Batman Begins.
Yeah.
And this was like the most it has felt of that level.
In a good way.
There were stakes
In the best
left
way.
and right in this episode. Like there was, like you said, there's a ton going on, and like it's not just us trying to keep up with it; it's them too. Like they're swamped.
Shows can learn from this season of Arrow.
Yeah, they can. Well, they can learn a lot of things.
I mean,
They
certain
can-
shows.
Personally, I think this season of Arrow learned from Daredevil. To be honest,
Yeah.
It did.
like fucking
It
up
did.
the stakes and like don't stop the tension and don't stop the action. And like there was a compelling mystery throughout the season. Granted, there's some kind of silliness surrounding Prometheus at first.
Yeah.
Which like that identity just fell by the wayside. Like it's nope, Chase. Like
I still think,
Yeah.
like, my kind of like weird bullshit premises at first for the season aside, I still think Prometheus is still really cool. Like
I for a minute there I said I really thought Agent Chase is still going to be vigilante.
no.
yeah, where did he go?
He
I
got
setting
hurt.
that up.
He's sitting on the he got benched.
I
Yeah.
have a feeling that he's going
Bench
to
until season 6.
Yeah.
That's when they really
Yeah.
rip off fucking Daredevil and have the entire season revolve around a crazy vigilante.
I have a couple of theories. I think, for one, I think Vigilante is Joey. Like, I'm not even
Who?
kidding. That's Slade's son. I think that is
Oh.
that is 100% what they're gonna do.
You mean
Because if
Jericho?
Slade makes it off no, in the Arrowverse he has a son named Joey. Maybe his name. I think his Titan's name is Jericho.
No, because his
But-
son Joseph.
Yeah. Okay, Alan. Joey.
No, because it's stuck in my head because I was reading. They're doing
Right.
in the comics right
I
now
underst-
Lazarus contract.
I
And they
understand that, but
shows up from Judas contract.
right. But within the show, they refer to him as Joey.
This is the ultimate issue of semantics.
It really is, and
Let's just move on from Joey.
This
But
is
yeah,
Alan
that would be
being
interesting.
Alan.
That would
Yeah.
be interesting if it was his son, because one, we should have. I mean, personally, all of us should have gotten that right away, just from the fucking costume.
yeah, it would explain a lot. It would really explain a lot. I don't think that was always the plan, but I think it definitely might be what they do, or it will be something. It'll
Wait
be
a
a
minute.
misdirect.
Did Barry Flashpoint? Did he wipe out Grant?
He might have. Well, that Grant thing, that
was a what if scenario, wasn't it? Like it was an alternate future.
That alternate future was never going to happen.
No, that was going to be what happens if
It
they
would have
failed.
been, yeah, if they failed, but they didn't fail. They
So yeah,
succeeded.
that timeline's been basically aborted, so that never happened.
Connor Hawk
A ver-
survived.
a version of that might happen, but I feel like they're setting up. They're definitely setting up Oliver's son to have to be adopted and raised by Oliver from now on.
Yeah.
And if he goes on to
I think the one of the people who died on that island is the mother.
Yeah, and then
because like
season 7,
how do you make a mayor's life more complicated? You give him a kid.
Yep, and then season 7, he's in Roy's old costume. I'd bet money on that.
Ooh, I like that.
Or season 7 or season 8, but 7 with the rate at which they do this, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was recast also with someone slightly older.
I'm a little stunned that we're already talking about the second half of a decade of Arrow, like, and it's gonna happen too. Like these shows are successful. Like
I think a recasting is inevitable for all the shows.
I mean, yeah, but specifically with this kid.
They also recast Kid Barry. Did they recast Kid Iris?
They might have. They have to recast him at some point.
The person I'm surprised they haven't recasted so far is Nora Allen, who seems to be like this weird, like, hey, you want to come in for 5 minutes? She's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she seems ageless, though.
I heard someone call her the ultimate red shirt.
That's
I was like, damn. And then, okay, so the final stretch of this episode, like, is like out of a Bond film. Like, fucking Oliver is chasing Chase onto a boat and jumps onto the boat and fights him in the back of it.
Yep.
And then we get the reveal finally that his son's not dead. Obviously, as we've been talking about.
He was in the boat.
He was in the boat. What's in the boat?
I knew he was in there when I looked at the windows and I was like, those are all blacked out. Why are they blacked out like that?
I had a feeling as soon as he got on the boat, I'm like, his son's there. I was like, all right, we're good. Cool fight. Like Adrian just kind of like Adrian's whole fucking spiel was just to lose. He like the Joker in Dark Knight. Like he wasn't counting on a fist fight with Oliver for his plan to be finalized. Like he was hoping Oliver would kill him in the first place. And if he didn't, obviously here he just could fucking do it himself.
Yeah, and I mean,
to quote Joker in Dark Knight, "Do I look like a guy with a plan?"
Yeah. The other thing is like Chase's plan is like almost foolproof.
Yeah. I mean, this is a Skyfall scenario where even if it's only one person who dies on that island, he still wins.
Yeah.
Like even if it is just the mother, he still won. Even if it's everybody, he still won. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And it's also weird to see Oliver not get the last laugh or the killing blow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pulled the Moriarty.
Yeah. He did, didn't he?
Very much so.
Except he didn't put it in his mouth. He just went to the side.
Oh, God. What if they've decided to stop copying Doctor Who and start copying Sherlock?
That'd be an interesting choice.
Which will be somehow more convoluted, because, God damn it, Sherlock.
Still haven't gotten past the first episode of the first season of that show.
Yeah, those feature-length episodes, those are a real treat, aren't they?
Yeah, and I started watching the Twin Peaks Return season this week, and I was like, someone was like, yeah, there's like 3 parts or 4 episodes and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I looked down, the first episode's 2 hours. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, this is not an episode. This is a movie.
Yeah. David Lynch, what are you going to do?
5 minutes into it, though, and I had to go do something else, so I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
So Arrow was just, this finale was, so damn good, and I guess to reflect on the whole season, after it was over, I messaged my friend Joe, who doesn't really watch TV that much. His tastes are very tight, like he's very specific. And I was like, I think you should check out Arrow season 5. It's right up your fucking alley. And I don't think I've ever recommended Arrow to anybody. And this whole season, from top to bottom, is just great.
Here's what I'll say. When people talk crap about Arrow, and they still do, I will point to this season before I point to season 2 or 1, because I think that this is the best season of Arrow.
No, it's from what I've seen, it's definitely the highest quality.
I recommended Flash to a friend of mine, and he chose to go. Well, he chose to start. He chose Arrow to begin the whole journey with.
Right.
He stopped in the beginning of season 1 because of mainly Oliver's or Stephen Amell's acting in that season, in that early part of the season.
Yeah, it's not the
It's a little rough.
Well, see, I season 1 is a chore for anybody because like they don't like it's the first season, the first show of this universe, and they don't quite know their formula yet. They're still trying to bank on the Twilight audience. So there's like lots of like I think at one point there was like no less than 4 or 5 relationship dramas going on. And it's like, I get it, like relationships are part of life, but like Jesus Christ, like what kind of show is this?
I will never forget.
They cashed on the big hit song "Radioactive" when Oliver and Laurel hooked up, and Tommy somehow saw the whole thing from when he was on the ground and he saw it into the window.
Poor Tommy.
What were you gonna say?
I'll never forget someone explain like I stopped watching Arrow after season 1, and like I'll never forget someone explained to me where Arrow's going by telling me that Felicity literally loses the ability to walk and then gets up out of a wheelchair at one point. Like, argument.
Yeah,
I thought about that. That was kind of it's like I get it, it'll come up when it's convenient, like it just did recently, but it just seems like that was kind of a waste.
Yeah, like what the?
Because now it's a gimmick. Like it's like, oh well, I mean, really, it can only be a gimmick in the case of another EMP attack. Which if it happens again, it's like, come on.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just think it's funny of her getting out of a wheelchair in the middle of an argument.
Well, yeah, it's like
let me tell you, you can walk.
That's not the worst part. It's the music that they played during that scene. I remember that scene because here's the thing. So if you watch Arrow season 4, which you should never do ever, never do this. But if you decide to, for some reason, because you're crazy, there's a 5-episode block of some of the worst television I've ever seen. And at the end of one of these episodes, it's that scene that you're talking about. But the music swells, and Felicity is crying, and Oliver is looking out the window sad, and the music again, it's swelling, and it's swelling, and it's swelling, and she says, "I don't need you anymore," or something like that. And then she starts to feel something in her legs, and the explanation that they give you is because she was feeling strong emotions, the things in her legs start to work. Yeah, because that's how machines work.
Yeah, that's like the most cringe-worthy shit I've ever heard of.
And then she gets up, and it's...
So I want to say two things about Arrow season 4.
Yeah.
There were only to me 2 good episodes out of that season. One was the Constantine episode.
Yeah, there's like, I'd have to go through it again, but there's like 6 episodes in there that are really solid.
And the Arrow part of when they did the Flash, the Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't count that. I count that as a crossover. Like,
luckily,
that's a different thing.
They fucked up, or they screwed up my season pass of Flash season 2, and gave me both episodes of the crossover for just Flash. So I didn't have to watch. I just bought that one episode from season 4 of Arrow, and I I got both episodes of the crossover. I still laugh about that.
Yeah, yeah, that's a bad season that you shouldn't watch. But if you haven't watched Arrow and you're for some reason listening to this podcast week to week, watch Arrow season 5. It'll probably be on Netflix.
Yeah. Now here's a fair question: was this better than Legends season 2?
No.
I say no, but by
it's
a
not
very
as
close
tight.
margin.
It's not as...
Man, Legends got away with murder by having 13 episodes, 14 episodes, something like that.
17.
17, okay, yeah, under 20.
And it's a tight 17. There's maybe 5 episodes that aren't good. And
they tried out of the box stuff for season 2. I've talked about the villain episode, but the villain episode is so fucking good.
Also, they knocked it out of the park with having Rip as a villain, which wasn't unexplored.
He's god level too.
Man,
we added 2 god level villains these 4 seasons of television, these 100 hours of television that we watched, and we should all clap for ourselves because we made it through it.
To quote what's her name from Lost, "Has it been that long?"
Sure, on the Lost references today. We
Yeah,
start watching it again.
No, I've been watching the season 5 promo that the Frey did.
Okay. Do you have anything to say on Arrow other than like, fuck yeah, the season was great?
I'm glad it's back. I hope that they...
Yeah, because, Hunter, obviously, but you were also ready to push this show out a window.
Yeah, like...
I mean, you can look back. I recently retweeted a tweet from a year ago. Time for my court-appointed viewing.
I remember that tweet.
Yeah, I saw that one, too.
So I'm glad that has switched to our next show. See what I did there? Yeah, so I guess this is...
What a weird shift in quality.
Yeah.
Because this episode is fucking fantastic through and through, and I'm like, it's almost like they intentionally saved some kind of big finale, all the energy for a big finale, but like, it doesn't save the rest of the season.
No, it doesn't.
It really doesn't.
And
You
I'm
are literally throwing shade at the show.
Oh God,
Alan, I will crawl through the internet and I will poke your eyes out.
I said to
if
make
he doesn't,
I said to do that.
If Shade does not win the worst one-off villain,
yeah.
If he doesn't win, I. Okay.
It might come down to Shade and that cyborg lady from the crossover.
I forgot about the cyborg lady.
Can we not talk about her ever again?
Her 25 seconds of being a total fucking jobber.
I swear to God, when we do the Zonies, I'm going to fight for her to win worst villain.
Honestly, I think worst villain is going to come down to either the Meachums or Savitar. Or Diamondback. Apparently Diamondback's not that well liked, too.
The Meachums are like they're hit and miss for me, so I don't...
Connor, the worst villain of any television season was the Iron Fist writers.
Yeah, Scott Buck. Scott Buck is definitely the biggest villain of the MCU.
He's the biggest villain in comic television.
Oh, wait, we haven't... Connor... No, not you. Hunter, you have to say your catchphrase. We haven't said it yet. No one said it
Well,
yet.
he can say it at the end.
Yeah, we'll say it at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this finale was tremendous. It was an attempt to salvage the Savitar situation. They almost got it, but the problem is, like I said, everything leading up to this episode was shit. And like one glimmering, spot in a heap of dung doesn't save. Doesn't turn the pile into a pile of diamonds.
I feel like you guys are being kind. I like the last half of this episode a lot. I like the fight sequence. I like the way that they resolve this ultimately. But the first 20 minutes of this is still the terrible trash that we've had to deal with for the last...
Well, we lost HR, which is a bummer.
Yeah. And
I was wrong. I guess it was a good fake out. I mean, I was convinced. I thought, Iris is dead.
Yeah.
Because they did show HR in the finale. I thought the transmogrifier only worked one way. I didn't know it worked two ways.
No. They never showed it working the way it worked in the finale.
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. I thought it only worked you only do, I don't know, like one person or one way. I didn't think you could switch.
No, the way they showed it working was by just on the face level.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
This was like
we never
and everything.
Yeah, we never saw that it do that for to a whole body.
True. But he scanned all of Iris's body. And we don't know.
Looking back, could it have been anyone else that now that I think about it,
because at this point,
any other way other than
HR was, aside from Julian, who later kind of stepped out of this position. HR was the most expendable person in the show, which sucks because when they introduced him to Tracy, all of a sudden his character kind of starts to blossom.
Yeah.
And then as soon as as soon as he starts gaining momentum, he's kind of taken away from us. So
true.
But the other thing about Tom Cavanaugh and Flash is that no matter what, we're going to have him on the show in one way or the other.
Yeah, and we've already set it up that even if you kill one off, there's going to be another one. That's just a rule.
Yeah, they've killed off 2. 3 technically, because
a character who's always going to be present in different ways.
Yeah.
It's such a
and I mean, with Jesse being on Earth 3, Harry doesn't have anything tying him down to Earth 2. He can kind of just fucking hang out on Earth 1 for a while.
He has a company to run.
He can do that from the other side.
No, he can.
Sure he can. Shut up. It's
The Mitchums did it.
Yeah. God damn it. Okay.
Well, now that Jay's back, I'm sure. Jesse has no reason to stay in on that Earth.
Yeah. Maybe.
But and like I said, I predicted this too, that they were going to try to beat Savitar with the fucking power of love. Which, I agree with you. That's a little hokey.
And
Which I thought ultimately was kind of funny because Savitar's like, yeah, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Arlen, was it you who was talking last week about the blade, the Savitar?
Yeah, the claw thing. I call it a claw because it just it's very claw-like.
We finally got that payoff.
Yeah, it didn't happen quite the way that I thought it would, but it's still the same idea. He used it to track down Savitar, which, that worked. I wasn't the only one who had that theory, but it did seem to pay off. So
I think it does a lot for, like I said, HR has been elevated a lot the last half of the season, and I think just the very idea of him like tracking down a supervillain's hideout just to make a rescue attempt is pretty ballsy.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that he is utterly worthless in a fight.
Yeah, like, he's like... Man, like, I don't know, I feel like HR, like I was saying, Harry is kind of like a character who's super interesting in this show. Because, like, they can do literally anything with him now. Because they're just like, oh, he's a different Harry from a different world. Like...
Yeah, and, like, they literally swapped HR out and brought in Harry within the same 10-minute window.
Yeah.
And they had a reverse of the Jesse Quick HR, or not HR. The Jesse Quick HR thing when during the Gorilla City crossover two-parter.
Oh yeah,
with Tracy and Harry, and they also did a nod to Flashpoint.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm talking about in Flashpoint, Eobard Thawne gets shot in the back by Thomas Wayne. But in this case, it was Iris because they came.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the episode of Flashpoint, not the comic. Actually, in the animated movie, Thomas Wayne blows his brains out.
No.
Like with like up close, gets behind him and shoots him in the back of the head and literally empties his skull.
Yeah.
Nuts. No, I thought you were referencing the episode because I didn't remember any callbacks to that. But after this whole thing kind of dies down, then they finally Savitar blows up Star Labs it's trashed.
Yeah, with the
which is like
taking that goddamn Philosopher's Stone and doing something useful with it for the entire season.
Yeah. And they didn't really get. Here's the thing, the logic of this still doesn't make sense. They don't give a good explanation of the Philosopher's Stone or why it exists.
And they didn't, and the fact they didn't and then just blew it up was almost infuriating. If I wasn't too distracted by the rest of the episode, this fucking MacGuffin was useless.
Yeah.
And it's ultimately served no purpose. And then its purpose was the first half of the season it was something linked to alchemy. And then they just switched it over to Savitar. Then they switched what it is, saying, "Oh, it's calcified Speed Force." Fuck you.
Yeah, it's. I mean, let's get to the good stuff of this episode.
Yeah, the second half of this episode, which is awesome.
I really like the way that they dispense with Black Flash. That was really cool.
R.I.P. Hunter.
Yeah. Although I don't think he's dead. I think that's just
no one,
copy.
It's speedsters don't stay dead.
Yeah.
Black Flash will be back.
Yeah. It's just I think that they just make copies, but every copy it takes a certain amount of energy or something.
Yeah.
So we have to make a new one. God damn it! That one got frozen. That one got blown up. That one, whatever.
I was thinking, didn't Barry technically disintegrate Black Flash in fucking the Speed Force?
Yeah, he within the Speed Force. So. Yeah, and I mean, how many Black Flashes did we see in the Legends finale? So, yeah.
Very true. So the back half of this was lots of Savitar stuff. He kidnapped Cisco, told him to fucking build... God, one more negative. This fucking machine. God, I was already over this stupid bazooka, last week when I was like, oh, it's a failure. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Savitar wants to use it to he wants to. What did you compare it to? The Grand Intelligence's plan where he wants to scatter himself across all reality.
It's again the fucking Doctor Who copying is off the charts.
Kind of honestly seems like a stupid idea. What are you gonna do afterwards?
But it made sense
maybe
in
buy
Doctor
a boat.
Who. because the great intelligence
Yeah,
is
Buy
a
a boat.
yeah. The great intelligence doesn't have a physical body, so it made sense there. But copying like 1 billion million Savatars.
Yeah, what do you? Okay, you're gonna fill a Savitar for every moment in time. Congratulations, you have now stuffed the universe with yourself. That's a stupid plan.
That is
And
literally
also-
fucking the
Which then-
universe.
Which thankfully doesn't work.
And again, like the intelligence's plan was, I'm going to kill the Doctor specifically. That made sense. I'm going to make copies of myself that will always destroy the Doctor over and over again to make his life harder. This is like, oh, I'm just going to destroy everything all the time.
This was I compared to Lawnmower Man. This was him at the end of the movie going like, and then every single telephone in the world will ring announcing my arrival.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, he's Job. Okay.
Yeah. He's Job, but in time.
God damn it! That he is just Lawnmower Man.
Yeah. If they rebooted Lawnmower Man, but with time travel as an aspect, this would be his plan.
Boy, that would be, what a. Let's get further away from the source material. Yeah, the back half of this episode is really cool. Savitar goes full bad guy and then goes to open Speed Force, and then the fucking Jay Garrick runs out and punches him in the face.
And it
So
says,
He's like, I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, I've been waiting to do that.
It's so, and I love Cisco's line. I turned it into a skeleton key for the Speed Force. So
and then
good.
Wally, Barry, and Jay all beat on Savitar. It was I've been waiting for this for 3 fucking seasons. I've been waiting for a speedster brawl, and it was short, but it was awesome. I thought that's how they were going to fight Zoom, and then him and Zoom had a foot race.
Which was really dumb. In retrospect, that was so dumb. And also, it allowed us to keep this time remnant thing as a theme, so it probably caused this season.
I hope I never see Time Remnant ever again, unless Zeobard's on. He's the only one who's allowed to come back.
I want the next season to start with them killing a time remnant as a way of saying we will never have time remnants again.
Barry just looks at the camera. Oh, no, it won't be Barry. Wally just looks at the camera and goes like, there, it's done. Happy?
It'd be so great.
Gotta talk about that in a few minutes. Yeah, this whole fight sequence is awesome. Caitlin made her face turn.
The vibrating into the Savitar
Barry
suit.
phasing other Barry out of the suit was rad.
And it turns red.
That's like when you steal someone's heart in a co-op game.
And then, like, although there was a weird bit where Savitar Barry is like, oh, it is written, because I guess this is what he was predicting would happen, is that Barry would take up the Savitar suit and become a villain.
Right. And I call bullshit. Just because he puts on the suit and he kills you, that doesn't turn him into Savitar.
He's like, oh, cool, done with this now. And then he just, although him wrecking the suit was really awesome.
Yeah.
And then seeing this villain I can't fucking stand turn into kind of a loser who is then shot in the back was very satisfying.
Yep.
Did you see the blood, though?
It happened, and I was like,
Yep.
wiped my hands.
I thought it was Joe for a second, then I was like, yeah, it should be her. It should definitely be her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, I think brought up the point that, like, the Paradox catching up with him was a bit, there's some weird continuity errors there, because, like, Thawne thing was, like, although we did say he was, like, right next to an opening the Speed Force.
I just thought about something. So, you know how earlier in the episode Iris is talking to Savitar Barry about, like, oh, you're going to live a happy life, blah, 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 blah. Well,
Right.
this just went all sorts of mice and men. Walk up behind, kill him.
Yeah, okay.
See
Square
that?
your
That
eyes
entire conversation was just bizarre, because, like, the heart was in the right place, but it's like, what is he going to be, your dog?
Yeah.
Like, hi, Other Barry.
Is he going to be like the Buffy bot in whatever season
Yeah,
it
like,
is
would
Buffy
Iris
dies?
would Iris have 2 husbands? Like,
Yeah, like...
that'd be a weird thing to tell people. Like, hey, I saw Barry the other day, he had a big old scar on his face, and then I saw him an hour
He
later.
looked like
was fine.
a thin crust pizza.
I mean, like,
Nah, he looked like a Triscuit is what he looked like.
maybe he becomes the Flash of Earth
Looked like an
4
avocado.
or something? I don't know.
His face didn't look like a dried out cracker.
You guys
Then Savitar-
realize that... I don't know. I was about to say he could have become the Speed Surfer Earth 2, and I was like, fuck, there already is a Speed Surfer Earth 2.
Right, well, Jesse might not come back to Earth 2. And then I was thinking, wait, if they do that, they're just copying Doctor Who again.
Yeah, basically.
God damn it.
So yeah, Savitar is blank from existence. Thank fucking God. There's a brief celebration, and then all of a sudden, we were sort of in Flash Rebirth territory with a big old Speed Force storm, which we should not ignore, because that's kind of big.
This is where I start to not like the season again.
So, I have a question. Do you guys think this will lead to Watchmen characters being in the Arrowverse?
Absolutely.
I'm hoping fuck
No,
not.
this is going to lead to the
Okay.
return of Barry Allen is what it's going to lead to. That's it, I'm not, and when I say
Berlanti doesn't have enough money for the Watchmen
Okay.
characters.
no, this is going to either halfway through season 4 or when they handle Flashpoint, one fucking episode. Halfway through season 4, we're getting Barry being pulled out of Speed Force, and I'm thinking we get the negative Speed Force.
Okay, because I was like, because
Because this reeks of the return of Barry Allen.
it does, and I just like I'm
Yeah.
trying to think if they do this for like the whole Arrowverse, like
You mean like the new Rebirth, where they
Yeah.
use it to reboot everything? I've thought about that because they set this up, and if they use this as their reboot, I'm fine with it. I would like them to actually do it because before these seasons started, that's what they made it sound like. They were going to use Flashpoint to reset everything, and they didn't commit to it, which
Yeah.
makes me think that they were going to, and then they changed their mind because they thought it would confuse the audience, which I guess makes sense. You're
Also,
just
having it just from like if I was involved in this, like having to then restructure 4 TV shows. Legends doesn't count. Like I said, that happens outside of time. They can drop it in and be like, Barry, what the fuck did you do?
yeah, and you could use them as a way of pointing out what's happened, as long as everybody is watching
to
Legends.
shuffle around. Well, I guess Flashpoint wouldn't have affected Supergirl either. Wow, it would have only affected Flash and Arrow. Actually, thinking about it, it should have.
Yeah, well, what people were saying before is that Flashpoint would have put Supergirl into the
Oh
Flash
yeah,
Arrowverse.
okay, I do remember that being talked about.
And I mean, I've had a theory for a long time that if we get to a Flash season 10, or maybe this might happen Arrow season 10, that we will do a version of Crisis.
yeah,
Oh, it's happening. That's 100%
I guarantee.
it's gonna be a crisis. They've already I think
They have explicitly used the word crisis.
Yeah, and they've made so many references to it. The Red Skies, but now with this episode, that could just be a Speed Force thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And this, well, the newspaper's from 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this happening here is not Flash missing in Crisis. This is like Barry just goes away and it's no one can confirm that Flash is gone yet.
Well,
But
that's from an alternate universe, or that's from the unmodified version or universe or timeline that.
Right, but
Reverse
the
Flash
newspaper
and-
still changes based off what happens in their timeline, which
Yeah.
means that that's a fixed point in time that can't be changed.
That's why Thawne was trying to preserve it so much, because if that changes, everything's fucked.
But
Because that was the one thing he was very set on keeping that
Yeah.
intact. Like Barry had
in the
time
worst episode of season 1.
Yeah, and what I was getting at is that the Red Skies, they could not be setting up Crisis in that newspaper. They could be setting up some other Speed Force thing down the line. But I wouldn't be surprised if they move that forward, because them being patient and waiting till Flash season 10, I don't buy it. I think that by Arrow season 10, we've already reset the universe and it's all one thing. I mean, we're gonna.
Black Lightning's going to be coming out.
Yeah,
and they're like, it's gonna be separate. I'm like, you're gonna Supergirl the shit out of that show, and all of a sudden find a way for him to come into the shows, because it's gonna blow up in their, not necessarily blow up in their faces, but they're gonna be like, wow, we have this fucking cool superhero who we can't throw in crossovers to get some good press.
Yeah.
It also just seems silly at this point not to put him in the CW verse. Like, what the fuck? Why? What's the reason?
The only reason I can think of is the showrunner doesn't want it to be that way, which I can respect.
I respect that choice, because
you don't want your what you're in charge of to be piggybacked and kind of dependent. Not really dependent, but like somewhat reliant on maintaining a consistent universe across 4 other TV shows.
Yeah, and even if you decide to set it in the Supergirl verse, which is what I thought that they were going to do, you still have to keep up with what Supergirl is doing at least.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that next year's crossover, because there's going to fucking be one, because this one was great, they're going to pull him in from wherever Earth he's from, and he'll be part of that whole gang.
Especially if the show is not, if it's not doing as well.
Do we have to watch this show?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we're totally going to.
Yeah,
looks
probably. We might have to. we might have to split the pod in two. Do a Black Lightning Arrow or Black Lightning Supergirl mini or something. This is an off mic conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Barry into the Speed Force, and this whole moment was kind of touching. Nora comes out of the Speed Force as like a Speed Force spirit.
Yeah.
Says his race is over. Barry says, which is weird because like Iris and Barry like just getting ready to like finally settle down, and like all of a sudden this comes up, and Barry's like, "Gotta go."
Yeah.
See,
it's kind of like
got that wedding.
It didn't really work for me, and also like it won't be hell for you. What? We've set it up that this is hell for whoever's in it.
Also, to say it won't be hell, like, kind of goes against what the Speed Force has been telling Barry the whole season. Like, this is your fault. You must atone for it and stop making mistakes.
So, like, there was a whole episode devoted to them saying that it is hell. Like,
yeah. So you can't just go back on that because you don't want the audience to feel bad? You want us to leave with a good taste in our mouth?
It's a weird about face for like the rest of the season because the rest of the season's been very bleak.
The only
and then they'd be like, "Oh, everything's gonna be fine." Like, yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Really, though?
The only way that I can justify this is they looked at this week's finales and they said they can't all end on bummers. Because although I like the ending of Supergirl this week, little preview there, the ending is kind of a bummer. Even though I hate the Mon-El relationship, but still kind of a bummer. So maybe that's why it happened. Maybe it was a direction from on high, but I don't.
I also hated that song that they were playing.
Was that Gravity from Wicked?
From fucking Wicked?
I have no idea. I don't care. I hated that song so much.
If it wasn't Gravity, then it was a knockoff of Gravity because it was so very similar.
John Mayer song for a second there.
No, there's
that is the most CW shit I've ever heard in my life.
No, like the set piece song of Wicked is called Gravity, and it sounded like a bad knockoff. I mean, maybe
which is a shame because I saw that live. That whole sequence is awesome, and I don't like musicals, and I was like, okay, this is really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's spectacular.
So I guess like just reflecting on the season, which we've done a lot of, but I didn't think that this show of all the shows would fall on its face as hard as it has. I didn't think it was capable of doing it.
Yeah, I mean
because like season 1 of Flash is is light years ahead of like Arrow season 1 and Legends season 1.
Yeah, and I mean, and Flash season 2 it's a good season.
It's not as good. It's still great. And actually, like the more I think about Zoom, the more I really like him. Alan seems to be fucking really into him.
I'm thinking about reading the Hunter Zolomon story arc.
I might do the same
tonight. After
I think Hunter was cool, and just like it's just this whole the Savitar business is just the dregs. It ruined the season basically.
Yeah.
Even if you take out the Flashpoint stuff, exclude the Flashpoint, leave the Flashpoint stuff in there. He's so like one. We already said no one wants to see Grant Gustin act evil. It's not convincing.
He just doesn't know how to do it.
He's like a puppy.
Yeah.
2, like the entire Savitar plot and overall origin is confusing as fuck. And still doesn't make any sense, and it was convoluted for the sake of being convoluted. And it's what the drag out for his reveal, and then have the reveal be that.
Yeah, it's so disappointing. This whole thing is disappointing. Yeah, I don't know. I hope next season's better.
Flash season 4 is totally going to be Wally show for a little while.
I hope so.
I don't think. Here's the thing. He's grown on me. I don't know if Keenan Lonsdale. I don't know if he is ready to carry a show by himself.
With everybody around him, I think he can. I'd like to see them try it at least.
Oh no, that's inevitable. They're totally going to because if they pull a Flashpoint and have this last for one episode, then it's a big waste, and I'd be shocked if they did that.
My guess is that it's going to pick up like the first episode is going to pick up after Flash has been gone for, I don't know, 2 years.
Yeah.
And it'll be just the Flash, Kid Flash, in a red outfit instead of the yellow.
Well,
maybe
in the early in the comics, when Barry became one with the Speed Force, and the Flash when the Flash comics were rebooted after Crisis, Wally had Wally was sort of. It was sort of the same thing with Keenan and Lonsdale. People weren't sure if he was. The way we feel about Keenan Lonsdale as acting wise is the way people.
It's how people felt about Wally in the comics.
Yeah, back like 30 years.
Which is funny
30,
because Wally became like faster and more stronger than Barry ever was at some point. I'm pretty sure he ran across the fucking universe. Being chased by Black Flash. Wally started, but yeah, I think for I said, first half of the season we'll get Keenan. I'm not sure what Caitlin's going to do, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like she comes back when Barry comes back, whenever that is. I mean, minimum they should do Wally as Flash for 6 episodes. That's the minimum that I'd be willing to accept. Because if Barry comes back within the first episode, I'm just not going to watch next season.
I'm also going to say second episode, midway, Barry gets pulled from the Speed Force.
Well, like I said, if they're gonna do Flash, this, like I said, this feels like, and I could be wrong, this feels like they're gonna do the Jeff Johns wrote Rebirth, right? The graphic novel, not the series. Not the post Rebirth runs that are going right now. The Flash Rebirth graphic novel.
Well, he actually
he wrote both. Technically.
Yeah. When you tell people like I have someone at work, I'm like, yeah, read Flash Rebirth. They're like, I looked it up. Which one?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, one is a series, one's a book.
I feel like
what I was trying to say about Wally was that throughout the series, he wasn't the only speedster in the book. There was Jay, there was Bart, there was Jesse
everybody,
Max
is
Mercury,
in Rebirth. Which I think is they can't. It'd be funny if they killed Savitar again. I think Accelerated Man was introduced so that Barry could touch him and kill him with the negative Speed Force.
Well, on Earth 19, but yeah, maybe we'll see.
Also, there was I'm blanking on his name, but there was another. There was actually not a Black Flash, but a black skin tone wise. There was a black speedster that was trapped in the Speed Force
in Rebirth? I don't remember.
No, not Rebirth. New 52 during Francis Manifold's run.
Okay.
So, and he was part of the Rogues, also.
All right. I think the only problem with doing Rebirth is that you've already hit the major point of, one of the big moments of the Rebirth book is, I killed your mother, Barry. We already know that, so that impact kind of lessens, especially because Flashpoint happened after Rebirth. But I do see Thawne coming back, because I think even the writers know that he's too good to waste.
Yeah, I mean, we've established
that he is the only speedster that is allowed to come back as far as being villains go, because he's too damn good.
Yeah.
And he's Flash's Joker, he is not going to go away. No matter what you do to him, he's unkillable.
Yeah, I said in the chat, if he came back for 3 whole seasons as the big bad, I'd be all right with it. Just not 3 consecutive seasons. And there can't be any other speedster villains from here on out.
Mm-hmm. Wait, season 5 will totally be Godspeed or Negative Flash, which I know hasn't even debuted yet. But
I know nothing about this DeVoe character that they've set up.
He's
other than
the Thinker.
And other than cyberspace things, I guess he sounds to me
I'm gonna beat the power of the internet.
Yeah, he sounds to me he sounds to me like Job.
God, we're gonna go full on more.
No, they're doing it.
We'll see. I mean, if they commit to not having a speedster villain for season 4, I will give them an applause.
Here's the thing: I don't believe
them. No, I don't either.
No, he'll take physical form, and he won't be a speedster, but he will still do the running through the streets thing, but in cyberspace. You know what I mean? Like, it'll look like he's a speedster, but he's not a speedster. He's just everywhere at the same time. And they'll find a way to end this with a fucking race.
If you want to do some research on DeVoe, I want to say the second, the Flash by Jeff Johns, Volume 2, has the Thinker arc.
This explains a lot. I do think that
most of the 3 seasons have been things by Johns.
I think that he has the most influence on the Flash. It seems
because he wrote the Flash for about 5 years,
right?
From I
think modern Flash is very much defined by Jeff Johns anyway. So
yeah, so it makes sense.
I don't really have anything else to say in this episode.
I guess we can.
Fucking season 3 is like I said, when we had to drag the season out behind the shed and shoot it in the stupid face, and that didn't exactly happen because the ending is pretty good. But like I said,
Connor, I'm still thinking about what your theory that there must have been some kind of shift where there was 2 different things happening.
Wait, what do you mean?
When you talked about like there was like originally something else was supposed to happen.
Oh, that was Arlen. Arlen said that this entire thing was something different, and they shifted it halfway through.
Yeah,
halfway through the creative process, not like halfway through shooting. That would be a nightmare.
I think that the original twist was Savitar is Tom Felton.
That too.
Julian.
I think I think that was one of the original twists, and that Savitar was just like some sort of enforcer for Alchemy, and Alchemy was going to continue being the big bad.
Man, I would have preferred that so much.
Yeah.
Alchemy was way cool.
Yeah, like he was interesting.
He could make metas.
Yeah, like you could just there's so many ways you go with that.
There were 2 unknown meta husks. There were 2 unknown undone.
Thanks for bringing up that dead plot thread.
I mean, and you could have gone.
There are still 2 more Flashpoint metas out there.
No, that's what I mean. Like that entire thread was just dropped. It hasn't been brought.
They haven't revisited it, but like
it was dropped like the fucking Rival.
There are so many places you could have gone with that. It could have been he was designing metas. Well, no, not really. They treated him like a joke. Yeah, but they were never going to do Jay Garrick because he's an old man and
he's a support character at this point. Like,
and from what I've heard, he's not the greatest guy apparently. So that's a thing.
Wait, what?
He's
no shit.
He's kind of a dick.
No, he's not.
That's what I've heard.
Who told you this?
Happy Jay.
Allegedly, John Wesley Shipp, not the nicest guy.
No.
I don't know that from any experience.
I thought you were talking about Jay Garrick, the character.
No, I'm not talking about the character. Okay, Alan, we're talking about him coming back on the show and continuing to work there. There are 3 things that allow you to continue working at a job. Being a guy that people want to be around, and being talented, and being available. Now, John Wesley Shipp, we know, has 2 of those. I've heard that one of those he's not the best at. But that's, again, hearsay, allegedly and all that. Where were we?
Now let's move on to Supergirl.
Yeah, Superman fought Supergirl.
Okay,
let's just song here.
Let's save that. We're just started the conversation. Okay, here's why I wasn't jazzed by this episode. When you start your episode with Supergirl and Superman fighting, it just goes downhill from there.
That's true.
There's no higher point. Like when her and
it was a lot like the back half of a roller coaster.
Yes, I missed something here. Like when. Why were they fighting again?
Silver Kryptonite.
Because
Superman went to
Silver Kryptonite made Superman
I had never heard of
see Zod.
That's
So
fucking stupid.
yeah,
Yeah,
We also
I think
saw
Silver
Zod
Knight
for the
is a
first time, which was
thing.
kind
Which
of
also we were kind of deceived with Zod because we were like, yeah, Zod's gonna come in. Oh, cool. Nope, Zod's a hallucination.
yeah, I was so.
I heard
pissed
that
off
he
at
is
that.
still confirmed for season 3, but
Okay,
yeah,
we'll
we'll see. Silver Kryptonite is
I
cool.
really
I like
wished-
that thing.
I really, honestly, God, wish they did. If they had, I mean, they don't have the budget for it, but you know how in Rogue One, how Tarkin looks.
Right.
If they did that, but imposed Terrence Stamp's face on it.
I mean, that would be really dumb.
No, because
I would have, if that happened, I'd be like, what the fuck, Michael Shannon?
Yeah, I thought you were about to say Michael Shannon, and then you
No,
go like Terrence Stamp, and I'm like, the fuck.
I'm more of a classic Superman, 70s Superman.
I like angry drunk Uncle Zod.
Here's the thing: the problem with that is, it's so Terrence Stamp being in an episode is not the same thing as them making his face Terrence Stamp.
Also,
Because
yeah, you said the budget. That would look the most laughable of it would look.
That's
worse
why I
than,
said they don't have the budget for it.
Yeah,
Also-
It
no,
would look
I'm
like a
just-
PS1 game.
Yeah, it
also,
would look like-
continuity. That would make this show in the continuity of the Donner Superman films. And
No,
you'd have to
because-
explain that. No, if it's Terrence Stamp, that's what the audience will think. That's what your 60-year-old relative, if you have one, will think if they see Terrence Stamp on the screen, assuming that they're still watching the show.
Yeah, and there are people out there who think every Batman movie is a sequel to the one previous to it. So
Right.
Yeah,
No, there's people that think that Michael Keaton is still the Batman.
Yeah.
He's not Batman.
I was, like,
He's
2 years
Birdman.
ago. Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
shit. Well, now he's
The
He's
trajectory of
Vulture
Michael
Man.
Keaton's, the trajectory of Michael Keaton's career playing people based on flying creatures is pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, what
and
the
kind of
fuck?
funny at the same time. I was working at a job I had a while ago. Like my boss kept saying like, "Oh yeah, Catwoman's in the new Dark Knight movie." I'm like, no, not Catwoman. She said Batwoman. I was like, no, she's not. And she's like, yes, he is. He's right next to Michael Keaton. I'm like, oh fuck. I was like, you couldn't be less with it.
hmm
But yeah, the fight was cool. I like seeing fucking superpowered people beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, I do see what you mean. Like I said,
And
back half of the
Kara,
roller coaster.
Kara is established as physically. Like,
Yeah.
she beat Superman.
She
Yeah.
don't need no man.
You don't. Yes.
Because I guess female Kryptonians are stronger than male Kryptonians, which is something I did not know about. But apparently that's the thing.
Okay, I'm thinking of right now because of all this.
What?
That photo that I want to say, one of you put it up. It was the Wonder Woman spot and on
That
Supergirl.
spot is so fucking cool.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like, fuck, I love Melissa.
God,
Whatever her
she's
last
so
name
cute.
is. Yeah,
Her little Wonder Woman pose. That was great.
Yeah, she's
I
too adorable.
I saw that still before I saw the episode. I thought it was in the episode. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. But it wasn't. I'm sad. Yeah, so they've had the fight with Superman. Kara beats him. And then there's kind of a stall period for a while.
Yeah, there's a trial by combat scene. Not the worst trial by combat that I've ever seen, but it's yeah, Kumite.
I also want to point out that the Daxamite soldiers in the ground, I didn't realize a few episodes ago, it looked like they were swinging parking meters.
What I thought of
Yeah,
the
what the fuck?
Daxamite characters were they were Guardian
Yep.
pre-production.
Yeah, we said that last week, but yeah, they look like
And last week it was like, if you blinked, you'd be like, are they the same person?
yeah, it's just different paint job. That's it.
When
I'm
I
looking
picked up the
I'm
thing, I
looking
was
at
like,
the
are they?
faces right now. They look fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
No, I was like, oh, those parking meters? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Then I'm sorry, I'm blanking on what's her face, the villain.
Terry Hatcher.
What was her character's name? I'm having
Rhea.
I thought it was
Rhea.
Rhea.
Yeah,
Like I
know
was
what you
kind of
mean.
like getting into this episode. I was like, hey, cool. Like that looks like a cool fight sequence. And then the Superman fight happened. I'm like, nope, it's not going to be.
Yeah. They kind of put the title card first. The Rhea fight, it's fine, I guess. But like,
also like it's like Terry Hatcher doing something physical. It's like, come on.
Yeah, when it was her though, and you could tell when it was her, she was doing pretty well for a. Wow, I want to be nice about this.
I would easily say she's 50 or 60.
45? I want to be nice. I really want to be nice.
I bet you'd be her favorite person right now.
I'm being really generous. But yeah, 50. Let's say 50.
Let's find out.
Who's older, her or Calista Flockhart?
I feel like
she is 52. So
oh shit. Okay, well that's
younger than I pegged. I thought she was closer to 60.
Yeah. Terry Hatcher, star of
Looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Star Terry Hatcher. Connor is half of Terry Hatcher's age.
Chris, shut the fuck up.
You know, just a quick aside, this whole week, people at work have been digging on my age, and it's getting really fucking old. Someone, I remember a long time ago, my birthday was coming up, and someone at work said, "You're turning 30? Wow, you're like half dead." I was like, "Are you insinuating I'm going to die at 60? Because that's some pretty bad news."
Yeah, you're going to die of adamantium poisoning.
Seriously. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I picked it. I think we all picked it last. It just wasn't as eventful as the other two episodes.
Yeah, but I still liked it more than the Flash.
I didn't hate it. Not by a long stretch. But I'm also very attached to the Flash, and I have a very soft spot for it.
Same to me, but I also like that they. I like the Star Wars bit with Kat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Acting like Darth Vader, punching out villains.
And I like at the end when Kat's like, go get him, Supergirl. That was really good.
I like that because I wanted it confirmed that Kat just kind of is 10 steps ahead of everybody. I like her character a lot. She comes off as very strong.
Yeah,
I'm also like I had said before, I like this actor Superman. I really like him now. I think he's great.
Yep, Tyler Hoechlin. I was skeptical, but he's doing me proud.
I was also dying when Kat was like, "Someone get me I need food, I need caffeine and a Quark bar." Because she has the fucking hot for him.
Yeah,
so good.
I really enjoyed Kat. Like I missed it so much. I guess this season, her saying Kira.
Yeah,
she only said it once.
Yeah, and it's kind of a thing that they
said too many times last season.
Yeah, and it was like an arc. Like she called her Kara at the end of last season. So it was supposed to be like a growth moment, but they assumed that most people hadn't seen season 1.
I'm glad we got a Myriad reference.
Yeah, that was good. Referencing last season. I wish that they had referenced how they totally benched Superman last season. That would have been nice.
How half those actors aren't even there anymore?
Yeah, well, most of them are dead.
No. I'm talking about Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, they're dead.
Oh, shit.
Well, we don't know what happened to Lord.
What happened to Maxwell Lord? I forgot about that entirely.
He was replaced by a much younger, more attractive Lena.
What happened to Lucy Lane?
Lucy went back to Metropolis. Because
she served kind of a singular purpose, so
yeah, because Jimmy and Kara were gonna be a thing.
But Myriad happened, and they never, and then Mon-El happened, and
I do like the escalating of almost relationships that Supergirl's had because what's his face was pining after for a bit, and then James did,
Win?
And then Mon-El, Win, and then Mon-El. So I guess the climax? They somehow
the scene where
poison the fucking air.
I also love the scene where Superman and Kara arrive at the DEO.
Yeah.
And Wynn goes, and Superman remembers Wynn, and he almost has an orgasm.
He's like, "I love you," but he can't even say it.
Yeah, I think he stumbled when Superman showed up. He kind of stepped back and stumbled a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty great. The one thing about this episode that was like, really, motherfuckers? Do you know what Google is? Google lead. Google the effects that lead have on a human brain, and then learn that a small amount of lead can kill a man. A human being will die from lead poisoning.
Lead poisoning is a thing. Wait, where did lead come in? Because
it was the way for them to kill the Daxamites.
Yeah,
by
Daxamites are
flooding the air with lead.
Jesus, that's genocide.
Yep.
I thought it was. I misheard. I thought that they made the air somehow like radioactive.
They did with lead.
Radiated it with lead. So technically they dispersed uranium, which is far more dangerous than
That's
that.
fatal. Season 3 is just called Damage Control.
And I would love it. I would love it if they use the exact same font that they use for the Marvel series.
What's Lena's mother's name?
Lillian.
It's just a headline saying like Lillian Luthor brought up on mass murder charges.
God damn it. Also, Supergirl wouldn't be able to see anything. Actually,
she'd be completely blind. I mean, this had a hell of an effect on fucking Rhea though. She turned to fucking dust.
Yeah,
turned to stone.
It was like Blade.
Terrible way to go.
Yeah.
I like how she dies basically like practically instantly, and Mon-El's like, I don't have time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I guess he has.
He was on Earth long enough, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah,
previous exposure to lead, I guess. I don't.
At the end of this episode, did he go into the Phantom Zone?
That's what it looked like.
I think it was time travel.
Because he looked a little stunned by it. He looked a little shocked.
I think it was like jump to hyperspace.
I mean,
no, because he was shocked. He was trying to not go and trying to avoid going in.
Yeah, it's kind of ambiguous. I know. I think somebody was it Andrew mentioned like, what the fuck happened again to Supergirl?
it looked intentional to me, and what I got out of that is he's going to join the Legion, which is interesting.
Watch him show up on Legends.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be great.
That'd be interesting.
That would OP that team so much.
I do think that I wonder, because they keep on setting up Legion of Superheroes, and I do wonder how that's gonna come into reality, and how it's gonna affect Supergirl or the other shows. Because again, it's like one of those things where is it gonna be like Cord Industries and they're just never gonna touch on it, or will it actually develop into something?
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
The tail end of this episode.
Wait, what? The episode of, I know in Smallville and just JLU, Supergirl leaves to go to join the Legion. Is that based on a comic book story? Because if so, I've not read it.
I think it is, and at some point, Mon-El is the replacement for Superman in the Legion. I know that.
Yeah,
also.
he is.
Okay, so the tail end of this episode, was this a Doomsday tease?
That's what.
Here's the thing. I've never seen that symbol before.
Neither
I
have
assume it's
I,
made
and
up for
I
the show.
Really
It
don't
looked
want
like
it to
the
be
Quake
Doomsday.
symbol.
The what?
Quake? None of you played Quake?
I played Quake. It just didn't look like the Quake signal to me. The Quake, I was talking about the insignia, like that weird skull insignia they showed.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one after the pod left, where you.
Oh, I don't think I saw that. But no,
Yeah.
the blood and saying it and it, like it will do this, it will do that.
I feel like they're doing Doomsday.
I think they are doing Doomsday, which I'm already down on because I don't think Doomsday is a movie. Doomsday's a movie villain, and like it's
Also,
you're not going to have the
early for
stakes
Doomsday.
for Doomsday here.
It's too early for Doomsday.
Also, like Doomsday, like early Bane, and Bane's kind of evolved now, but like Doomsday is like I don't know why. Like, and when people were throwing a fit over his appearance in Batman vs Superman, I'm like, Doomsday's not a character that holds a lot of like esteem. Like he did one thing, and then like that's his major claim to fame.
It serves a purpose.
He's not. He's basically a plot. He's a plot device. He goes in and kills.
Yeah.
He just like Bane, who, like I said, has evolved and done more things. Bane broke Bat, Doomsday killed Superman, and since then hasn't done too much.
Yeah, and even then, like I would say, Bane has more of an impact because like
Bane part of
he's
Secret Six back in like 10 years ago.
He might have been in the new Simone one.
No, he wasn't. That was a different. That was Elongated Man.
Okay, like he was a big part of the Batman animated series. Doomsday didn't show up until a movie, in the Superman animated series. I think, and that was long after the show was over. So like Bane has more of an impact.
No, that was part of the. That was the first movie in the DC animated universe.
That was.
So,
but
and like,
the
also,
show
okay,
was long gone.
Yeah, and let's say this is Doomsday. What's he gonna do? Come in and kill Supergirl? That's not gonna happen. They just killed Superman on screen. Is he gonna kill Superman? No. See above.
I don't. So here's the thing, like
I think Ali Adler or Berlanti lost a bet to someone at who's at Warner Brothers, who's like what's his face, whoever's writing Action Comics right now.
It's interesting because
Dan Jurgens. They must have lost a bet to Dan Jurgens because he fucking loves Doomsday.
Well, I mean,
it seems like
isn't it his character?
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's Dan Jurgens' character. Pretty sure he came up with Doomsday.
No,
I might be wrong.
That was Jerry Ordway.
Regardless, I'm wholly against this idea. If that's the case.
I mean,
but yeah.
Like,
also, he's gonna look like shit. Let's get that out of the way now. He's gonna look terrible.
Okay. Even if he's gonna look like shit, if you ask me, the best version of Doomsday on screen is actually Smallville.
Yeah.
Like as far as
it's the most faithful, but still looks low budget.
I'm not even talking about looks. For me, I don't care about looks.
Story-wise.
I care about the story, and as far as like using Doomsday as a story and telling his story, and not using him as a cave troll like they did in DBS, which is what he was. He was a cave troll that they brought in.
Mutated Zod.
Yeah. He also was literally just reused CGI of the cave troll.
You know what he looks like?
That means.
He looks like an ogre from like he looks like a rejected like concept art from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. He's 100%.
He doesn't start to look interesting until he starts growing all the spikes. Other than that, he's literally just a bald, fucking gray goon.
Yeah.
But
He's just Shrek with the no saturation.
What was he also looks like a thing from Resident RE4.
Kind of.
The damn
El
it, the
Gigante.
Regenerators.
Yeah, the
that
giant.
too. That too. Yeah, I was thinking when he has the spikes, I was thinking of the Regenerators.
That's one big
yeah.
man, baby.
But yeah, the Sam, I can't remember his name for some reason, but
Sam Witwer.
Yeah, Sam Witwer Doomsday. As far as like an actual character arc, that's the best depiction of Doomsday in my opinion that they've ever done on screen. So if they're able to do a version of that, and I mean, it's obviously going to be a female version of Doomsday.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, which will be, if they do it right, it will be more interesting.
See, I was worried because they do this reveal and they're like, it will do this and it will do that. I'm like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, you're going to say, like, I can't remember what the line was before they said he will reign, but like, I was like, they're going to lead into like, it's Doomsday pun or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was worried about. I'm like, don't lean into it.
Or here's the thing: they might not even know what it is yet. That's something that I'm.
Yeah, that's true. Very, very true.
Because apparently there are a lot of things that this could be. I don't know what those are, but I've heard from other people that this could be 100 different things. Different characters who are obscure. So we'll see.
I would lose my shit if it turned out to be Eradicator.
Ooh,
that's an idea.
Huh.
That would be interesting.
Who is currently in Action Comics?
The problem with Eradicator is, I mean, if they drastically change what Eradicator is supposed to be,
if it's Kara in sunglasses, I'm gonna laugh my tits off.
That would be the best thing ever.
Because that would just like reek of 90s shit.
It would only make sense though if there was already a Kara in sunglasses. But yeah, like that would be.
Connor, have you been reading? Did you read the Superman arc that Eradicator was in?
Yes.
Did you like that they didn't change anything about him?
Yeah, he looks as lame as he did in the 90s. It's kind of fantastic. It's because it's like it's not just like it's not a reboot kind of thing. Like it's like, oh, he's back. Like look, there's nothing different about him. Looks, he's got fucking ski goggles on and looks stupid as shit.
Yeah, Vigilante actually looks.
Vigilante looks the most like Eradicator.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I just thought of something.
I think Eradicator's cool as fuck though. I think his power is awesome.
What if Kara
Vigilante is Eradicator?
Okay, you need to be stopped. What if Doomsday is what this is, and Doomsday lands on Earth, and Kara ends up falling in love with Doomsday?
Then this show would be dead to me, and
it would be a CW show.
it would suddenly become a very CW-like show.
And in its place, it would cover iZombie.
I'm not okay. That
it's way better than that. Like,
I hope that this is something interesting, though. This is something. I hope that they do this well, because whatever this is, it could go either way.
And let's move on from Supergirl because we're already 90 minutes in. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And there's
I wasn't looking at the time.
I have been.
Okay. Well, we got a lot of news.
Because low key, I've been doing this shit all day. I recorded episode 1 of Movie Dump today.
What is that? And
Movie
I'm
dump?
so interested.
Is that where you dump?
Okay.
Movies?
So
we'll talk about it later. Off mic.
Let's do Zack Snyder first. Everything else is sort of
that's kind
all
of
right.
That's kind
I'm
of
going to get
dark.
this right out of the way. We have collectively said a lot of less than nice things about Zack Snyder's work, but that's the difference. We have talked about his work.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for those not in the know at this point, Zack Snyder left the production of Justice League because back in March his daughter committed suicide, and he thought that going back to work would be a good coping process, and it wasn't. And I don't. That's a very
And
realistic
Joss
thing to do.
Whedon is taking over.
Which is nuts, by the way. We'll
Yeah,
get to
what
that in a minute.
the fuck? Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute.
He
That
has-
is insane.
He's basically George Perez at this point. He's someone who's done both Avengers and Justice League.
Yeah, and like I wish the news of this would just be like, oh yeah, a man's gonna go leave this and go leave his family. However, this brought out
Little shits.
some of the worst in people I have ever seen.
Oh yeah,
And
no.
I didn't see any of it, and I'm so glad that I did.
This is
Seen a lot of
like
it.
almost word for word something I saw. Someone said she should have killed herself sooner. That way, Batman vs Superman would have been better.
Oh, fuck you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And then someone attacked me in pixels because I said preemptive fuck you to anybody who says like, oh thank God Zack Snyder's gone, the series is saved. Someone attacked me for doing like I think he called it gotcha morality and said I'm pushing my own agenda. I was like, what agenda? My agenda of this dude who wants to go home and grieve for his family and not have anybody be shitty to him? Because a lot of people are being shitty to him. So many people. Someone actually. The next thing I saw that made my blood boil, which had me like I had to close my laptop for 2 hours. Someone took that picture from Batman vs Superman that says "You let your family die" and photoshopped Zack Snyder's head onto Bruce Wayne's body.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Like
That is fucked and inhuman.
People. Okay. He's a person.
He is not a corporate machine who pumps out movies. Like he is a dude who has a family, and he like I wish none of these people have to go through. Hope and wish none of these people who are opening their fucking mouths have to go through what he's going through right now because that is it's incomprehensible.
No,
Yeah.
I think these people should have to go through what he's going through.
No, you
Yeah,
shouldn't wish that anybody. I mean, like from a karma perspective, like it's the only way these people would actually realize what they said is shitty if they were in the exact same situation. But they're so separate from rationale and sanity and morality that they think it's funny to make fun of someone's dead daughter.
here's the thing. Fuck nerds.
I mean,
Yeah.
I agree with that statement wholeheartedly.
Fuck
And not to derail too much, but we're in the midst of another controversy with these shitheads who are angry over a Wonder Woman screaming. Get fucked.
Or
everyone-
Wonder Woman screaming. Wonder Woman screening for only women.
for all women. Like you can't
Here's the
shut
shit,
your mouths and just be quiet and let the girls have this. It's fucking Wonder Woman.
Wait, did
Like,
you guys
this
see
is their
the
moment.
Did you guys see the Alamo Draft House? They got their Facebook.
yeah,
retweet?
that was the best
that
thing
burn was one of the best things I've ever seen. One, because it takes a shit on that Entourage movie, which came and went and was clearly
Oh.
forgotten about. Two, it just shut that dude down.
Yeah.
Shout out
I was
to
like-
the Draft House in Austin. Like, Jesus Christ.
But back to Zack Snyder, this is terrible. And I'm sorry, the strength it takes to have a member of your family die and then just go back to work thinking you'll be okay, that is
I actually-
Herculean.
I respect the hell out of Zack Snyder. Like, because, like, the shit he has to go through, like, he deals with shit.
It's bad enough that he gets criticism from fucking douchebags like us sometimes.
Yeah, but we're not fucking.
But we're not.
characters.
I don't wish ill will on him. I don't really want him to fail. I kind of like Zack Snyder. He's made 3 movies I really like.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Watchmen. I love.
I
300.
love 300. Dawn of the Dead is Dawn of the Dead is one of the best horror remakes ever.
Yes.
Period.
Yep. Yeah,
and
like
he has a very unique eye. He understands the use of music and imagery. He understands color. He understands majestic imagery. The dude has talent. He's just like lately, and again, I'm not trying to take a shit. It just seems misdirected in the last few
He's having a rough go of it.
Yes.
Well, I mean, he's not good at PG-13. He's not great at adjusting from R-rated tones to that sort of lighter, more family-friendly thing, which is fine. Not everybody can do that.
Zack Snyder excels at making bleak, hyper-violent movies. That's what he does best.
Also, like, again, I might disagree with him on his personal politics, but guess what? I would never tell him to go kill himself over that, because it's his personal stuff. It's his personal view on things. I know part of why Alan never finished Man of Steel was because basically Zack Snyder infused his Superman with Ayn Randianism. But here's the thing:
I think everyone's come to the conclusion that
that.
Zack Snyder just doesn't like Superman, therefore he doesn't understand him, so he just kind of tacked on this this visage that he thought was appropriate and just wasn't. Whatever, it didn't work.
Yeah, and you can criticize the movie without.
This is the ultimate idea of separating the art from the artist. Like, you can criticize his art, that's fine, it's subjective, you don't have to like it, you don't have to dislike it. But then to attack him and attack his grieving family, just fuck off. Like, leave the planet. We don't need you. Yeah,
and like, it's one of these moments where I kind of have to apologize to Ed, because there's this ongoing thing where I say DC fans are more crazy than Marvel fans. I'm clearly proven wrong, because there are crazy Marvel fans who are going after Snyder. Apparently, I haven't been seeing this because I guess I've chosen the right people on Facebook and on all the other places. I saw a lot of people being shitty about the London thing that happened the same day as this.
Yeah, this entire week and a half has been a stretch of like just humanity being fucking dreadful. People are making jokes about 22 dead people.
Yeah. But yeah, like, this is sad.
I think I speak on behalf of all of us that, like, suicide is a rough thing to deal with. Like, it's not something you want to joke about. It's also not something you want to experience at all.
No.
I feel like it hit all five of us very hard when we heard this. Like, we all felt very strongly for Zach. I feel like I can safely say that. All five of us have our
here's the thing, like, someone in your family commits suicide, like, you're left with nothing but questions.
Yeah.
And, like, questions that are never going to get answered. He's never going to know why, the ultimate reason of why it happened. He probably didn't get to say, like, what would be in retrospect, like, a final goodbye or something that's meaningful to his daughter. She was awful.
And she was young.
She was 20, I believe, right?
Yeah, she was like 20. 19 or 20. And, like, you're just, I'm only a few years older, but you're just starting. You're really just beginning, and it's so sad. It's so sad.
And again, we have to talk about this aspect of it, not to pivot from the tragic into the almost unbelievable. Like, yeah, Joss Whedon is now directing, well, not directing, but he's finishing Justice
League.
The
reshoots, I believe it was.
Which means now his name will be attached to both the Avengers and Justice League, and he's still attached to that Batgirl movie. It's like living on a different planet.
Yeah, it is. It is strange. It's something I never thought I would hear.
Like, let's just deconstruct this for a second. Like, he's Joss Whedon made The Avengers, which is I'd say it's one of the best comic book movies of all time. Like,
top 5 easily.
Yeah,
he shepherded Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Yeah. He directed Age of Ultron.
Which is a good sequel, I say.
I like Age of Ultron. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Well, there was studio. There was fighting between him and who was it? Was it Feige?
Yeah, there was. It's
and Feige. Yeah.
Yeah, which you can see both sides of the argument. It's like Whedon has a vision, but so does Feige. So you have to meet in the middle, and they just didn't. So.
Yeah. It's like this dude is killing it, basically.
Yeah.
Like, he's
also, and like, it speaks of that fight because, like, to be so burned out on the other side of Marvel to go basically help out their direct competition in finishing, like, in heralding their big project is massive.
Yeah, and
it's a big fuck you.
It is, but also...
Well, Joss Whedon is not one to be known with... he Joss Whedon can be really fucking shitty when he wants to. If you read his Twitter, he can be real sour.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. But we wouldn't say it's a big.
So can David Jaffe.
Yeah, we wouldn't say it's a big fuck you though if somebody went from Star Wars to say a DC film, or say you were directing The Flash and then you dropped out and you decided to direct Han Solo. You wouldn't say that, so it's not really a fuck you. I thought you were going to say Star Wars to Star Trek. Well, that's like you don't get mad about people going from Paramount to Universal Studios. It's not a thing that happens. It's just that because we're comic book fans,
in the culture, it's like for whatever reason we have to pick sides, which
is dumb. Just like what you like and don't pick sides. Yeah. It's not a fight. It's like the console wars. Like you got an Xbox. Hey, guess what? My plastic box that plays video games is the exact same thing as your plastic box that plays video games. Fuck off.
Yeah. Zack Snyder's going to leave DC someday.
To quote a taco commercial, why not both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like.
To be honest, Zack Snyder's probably done after this wraps. Honestly, if he takes 2 years, 5 years away from the movie industry, fine, whatever.
Well deserved.
Do what you need to do, because this is I wouldn't even know how to deal with this.
Yeah, and
this is speaking from someone who just lost a friend back in August. This is just nightmarish. I suppose we can move on to something a little more different news.
Well, I just want to say, so Joss does make sense from a business point of view.
Yes.
He made the 2 movies which are the most similar to Justice League that have ever come out before. Mm-hmm. Period. No one else has made a movie like this before. The only other person who you could maybe go to is James Gunn, and he's deep in those trenches now.
Yeah, he is shackled to the Guardians.
So yeah, that's why it makes complete sense.
Black and Silver. Let's talk about this.
Well, I'll run all 4 of them down, and then we can decide. But there's a Dredd update. Carl Urban is coming back.
Cool. Come on.
Yeah. Doug Liman.
Wait. There's gonna be another Dredd movie.
No. Okay, so we did a story I think last week or the week before
about a Dredd TV series.
Yeah, about a Dredd TV series. There's a potential of him coming back.
I need.
It might happen, might not, but
I am the law.
Okay, and then Doug Liman left Justice League Dark.
No, you mean Dark Universe.
No, Dark Universe is the Universal thing.
No, they actually called that Justice League Dark movie Dark Universe. That's what it was titled as.
Well, that name's been taken.
Yeah, that name has been taken by Johnny Depp, and probably Tim Burton is somewhere very close behind.
Russell Crowe and Tom Cruise.
They are just waiting to announce Tim Burton, the Invisible Man. They're just waiting. They're waiting for the moment to spring it on us, and he'll be wearing a top hat, and he'll be goth, and somehow invisible.
And he'll be wearing over his face wraps. He'll wear big, goofy copper glasses.
Isn't Johnny Depp supposed to play the Invisible Man?
Yes. That's what we're talking
That's
about.
the point.
Oh,
that's
Tim Burton and Johnny Depp.
Why do you get Johnny Depp to play a man you can't see is pretty bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's okay. That's technically not superhero, but
yeah.
Doug Liman leaving Justice League Dark. That's the unofficial name. He's leaving it probably because of stuff to do with All You Need Is Kill. We could have gone on a bigger thing about that, but I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. He didn't leave it for the other reasons that we've been seeing with the DC stuff. A lot of people are trying to say it's part of it's a correlation. DC is really bad, so people are leaving. It's just scheduling stuff. He had another movie.
I mean, don't be surprised if Tom Hardy drops out of Venom all of a sudden because of scheduling issues. So
Please.
He was either going to stay on this and not get it done, or do a movie that he knows is it's going to shoot within the next year.
Still ultimately a business, so.
Yeah, so I guess the 2 ones are Silver and Black and New Mutants. So
speaking of Sony and their ridiculous attempts to launch a Spider-Man cinematic universe without Spider-Man.
Who's the Tom Hardy that's not Tom Hardy?
Logan Marshall Green.
Yeah. Star of Quarry.
Yeah,
on Cinemax.
Most likely he'll probably end up being Venom.
And
That would be hilarious.
And he'll be playing Commander Shepard in a future Mass Effect movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because that's happening.
So this is the title for the supposed Black Cat Silver Sable team-up movie.
They announced it along with a director and a writer and a script.
Who's the director and writer?
This just smells of tryhard so much.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing: the director actually gave me hope. I don't remember her name, but she directed Akilah and the Bee. This is like a family film, kind of like a family drama almost.
Is that the spelling? Is that the Spelling Bee movie with Lawrence Fishburne?
Yeah,
I feel like it is. But she's a director. She's been around for a long time. I believe she did not Basketball Diaries, Basketball Dreams. I want to say. Like a sports type
Hoop Dreams
thing. Hoop Dreams. That was one of her other movies. But she's an accomplished director. She's been around for a while.
Well, in the same vein that we said that Tom Hardy makes us excited for Venom, like there's still a lot of hesitation we have to take with this because we have seen these emails that we leaked from Sony. This is a bunch of people who don't understand the property they have and they're trying to milk as much out of it as they can with nothing but desperation.
Yeah.
Part of me kind of feels bad for how much we shit on Sony each week.
Well, they bring it on themselves because, let's face it, they've effectively, they've kind of botched Bond. Like, people aren't even sure if it's going to stay at Sony, I think, at this point. Ghostbusters landed on its face, and that director still keeps blaming fans for it, which he should really shut his mouth. Stop trying to pass blame because the movie bombed. It just did. Get over it. And then, their failed Spider-Man universe, they tried already before, and now this.
Twice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this, though. I'm actually more looking forward to this.
I'm not really, pissing on the movie itself. I'm pissing on Sony's practices because it screams of, we can do this too, meh!
I know
it doesn't feel right, yeah.
Connor and Hunter will know.
Sony really needs a win with Homecoming.
Yeah, they do.
Connor and Hunter will know where I'm going with this, but when we were doing on Video Game Hour, when I was talking about the Punisher video game, we were doing the best comic book games.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about the Arena one that was based off the Punch. What was the Punisher with Ray Stevens?
Tom Jane. Oh, Punisher Warzone.
Yeah, Punisher Warzone. Silver Sable is in that game, and the way Matt described her is she's someone that you put in when you don't know what to do.
She is probably in that game. She's the striker of that game.
Yeah.
Curtis Stryker. It's also just Silver Sable. It's not a character that's in the public consciousnness at all.
Yeah,
Black Cat is barely in there.
Has she
the
appeared in
premise
the comic
is
lately?
not why. I don't think she has. The writers, Lisa Joy, who wrote Westworld. I didn't love Westworld. I don't know you guys.
I still haven't finished it. I like it. I still haven't finished it.
It's overall, it's fine. I didn't love it, but she's not what actually gets me excited for this. The person who wrote the final draft of Thor: The Dark World was brought on to finish up the script for this Silver and Black movie, which instantly makes me think, okay, wait a second. So Sony has seen their finished version of Spider-Man Homecoming. It's a movie where they went into heavy co-production with Marvel, and they had to take Marvel's notes, and they had to listen to what they were saying, and they must have learned something from them, because they're hiring the next person who did one of the Marvel movies after the one that they were working on. It screams to me of they're starting to look in the right direction and make the right decisions. That's why I wanted to talk about this story.
God, they do.
Here's the thing. I know I said earlier, a few months ago, that I wish this Venom movie would tank so fucking hard because I wouldn't have to hear about all this Sony nonsense. But now that Tom Hardy's on, I'm like, this has to work.
But there's also,
and I don't necessarily want any of this to fail because I like having all this shit being made all the time. But it's like it's just fucking infuriating because it's just like, to me, is Sony looking at Marvel and going, nana nana boo boo, we have these characters and you can't use them.
There's also there are some characters that they can base trilogies around, like Silk, who's still new. Scarlet Ben Reilly. He gets a lot of shit, but he's
he's a legacy character.
And Miles Morales. He's probably the one out of those other two who.
Well, Miles is going to be the center of the animated Sony movie coming out.
No, but if they launch a Spider-Man, like after the whole Marvel stuff is done.
Right, I see what you mean.
If they did Miles instead of Peter, because Miles,
maybe
he's been relevant for like 7 years.
It is interesting. It's interesting because I do feel like we are both a complete 180 from when AVR Rod was in charge of the Spider-Man movies. Because if you go to interviews from before Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, there were people asking, will we ever do Miles Morales in a Spider-Man movie? And his response was, no, we are only telling Peter's story. That is the only story we will tell. Peter is the only Spider-Man.
That also lines up with like those leaked emails that said like Sony's ideal vision of Peter Parker is a white young boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it
sounds like a pedophile.
Sense.
Phrasing.
Yeah, but I feel like, I'm more hopeful about Silver and Black. Tom Hardy definitely helped because he's known for he doesn't take projects lightly. He's very picky. If he decides to take your movie, he really likes your movie. That's what that means. He likes where you're going and what you're doing. So that's a good sign. And them hiring people who seem to know what they're doing, that's a good sign also. Talent always means that they're doing something right. So, and we're going really deep. I guess New Mutants.
I didn't follow up on this story. What is this I hear about this being a straight-up horror movie?
So, Josh Boone,
what has he done?
He directed the Shailene Woodley one with her Divergent co-star, but before Divergent came out. It's the romancy one where she has cancer and he doesn't have a leg.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah.
I hate that movie so much.
I don't like that movie, but he really loves horror. That's his bag. He was directing The Stand at some point. Now he's directing a newer King book, from 2014. It's not 11/26.
Mr. Mercedes?
Huh?
Mr. Mercedes?
Maybe. It's that era. It's definitely newer.
Yeah.
But he also has been on this New Mutants project for a long time. I remember hearing a year ago about Anya Taylor-Joy and Maisie Williams joining the cast or being rumored, and then we got a confirmation again either last week or the week before. But they added Rosario Dawson, which again that's another.
I thought she was in the talks, or in talks to join it.
Yeah, they're talking about it. Which if that happens, guys, there's something else going on because that's the second time that Fox and Marvel have decided to get along and share an actor. One is the TV side, one is the movie side, but still, that's weird.
One is totally going to cross over.
That's an unusual amount of cooperation.
Before Avengers 4 is AVX.
Oh, God.
Which better be better than the fucking comic book, because I hate that series so much.
Maybe. But, yeah, she might be in it. But apparently they're going like a horror movie direction with it. Which just tells me that they're taking our advice from our Logan episode. One of the things that we said is make every movie different from the last one. And go weird with it. Just go weird. Don't try to do a cohesive universe as long as every movie is unique from the last one. It sounds
I think Josh Trank's initial vision of Fantastic Four was pretty compelling, but the execution was shit.
Yeah, he tries to copy The Fly and
to embody the Fantastic Four as a Cronenbergian horror. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, and
the studio meddling ruined that for everybody. So
yeah, he does some interesting stuff in the first hour of that movie.
And then the 2 minutes where Doom is blowing up people's heads.
Yeah, and there was
Hunter's like favorite thing.
Yeah, and there's an interesting version of that movie where they spend the entire rest of the movie in that base, and it's cat and mouse, which is the version of the movie that I want to see. But we will never get that version. Yeah, but I'm excited for New Mutants even more than I was.
Especially if it's horror. Like I was thinking about this the other day. Like that is such a good franchise to make into horror because it's like I know people are going to disagree with me on this. But I feel like New Mutants is kind of like valuable enough to make it into something you want, whatever you want to make it.
Yeah,
yeah. It's more of a lower tier series.
Isn't Sunspot one of the New Mutants?
Yeah.
His power's horrifying. So. He's on fire. Like it's not just on fire. Like he's scorched like a literal sunspot. Like I think translating that to a horror movie would be pretty interesting.
Yeah. The only thing that's like kind of disappointing is Anya Taylor-Joy. I do feel like she's getting like typecast just a little bit. But otherwise, like, yeah, I'm in. Because I feel like her entire thing now is, I'm the girl in that horror movie that everybody either didn't like or really liked.
Well, I'm currently high on Fox right now, which is odd.
I think they're doing a great job. Like
I think they have really turned around as far as what the direction of the X-Men movies go. I mean, because at this point, like, let's face it, the X-Men are practically Fox's toys at this point. And if they're going to keep using these toys and churning out programming and movies, like, if this is the direction they're going, fine. I'm okay with it. I'm good with it. Like, if Legion is the example going forward, then give me more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Legion
and Logan and Deadpool.
Yeah. I mean, Legion and Logan are like a 1-2 punch of just how good
of you guys are serious about trying to take this seriously and do something, interesting with it and do something that's, do something where it's not like, fucking stop the world destroying device and blue laser shoots in the sky.
Yeah, and also like
we will build a better world.
Don't.
Yeah. I feel like they were trying to copy the MCU and that was a bad idea. And I think that they've learned that no, the MCU was good at that because Kevin Feige knows what that means.
He knows his shit.
You spent 10 years in the trenches working on these kinds of movies, learning what not to do and what to do from the same people who were screwing up X-Men before and screwing up Spider-Man. So he's learned from those mistakes, and you need to not try and copy him because he has experience that you clearly don't have because you keep on messing it up. So do something different. And it looks like they're taking that advice.
I hope so. I suppose we can wrap. We just hit the 2-hour mark a little while ago. About 2 minutes ago. Long show, as we predicted. But, hey, that was the Phantom Zone. You can follow me on Twitter at Western Commander, where I don't post as much.
You can follow me on Twitter at Davin Reports. I'll ship posts all day, fam. And you can find my writing on Lost Harrow. I'm trying to get back into it. Work has been kicking my ass, so it's really hard to, write and balance that, but I'm too.
Yeah. You can find me at AAHaro on Twitter. You can also find me strangling Hunter to death in New Hampshire. Same website that Hunter just gave, lostharrow.wordpress.com. And
I'm right there too.
follow. Yep, Alan is our news editor, writing all kinds of news stories. Didn't really work out the way that it was supposed to, but this is Coming of Age Week on the Harrow. So go there and check out the Coming of Age exclusive stories.
Yes, and this week on Video Game Hour, in keeping in tune with that theme, we're going to be talking about consoles we played growing up and games we played growing up. And it's going to be interesting because I am 30 years old, so what I played is going to be incredibly different from what these two yucks played.
I hate to drop the bomb on you guys that I was a Sega kid.
Oh, you're one of those. Anyway, also keep an eye out for another program with me on it called The Movie Dump. We're going to watch shitty movies and talk about it, so that's coming up soon, too. First episode's in the bag. Hey, anybody else? Chris is here still.
Oh, I am? Okay.
No, you died.
You guys were such on a roll, I didn't want to, ruin your vibe. I'm Chris, and I shitpost as well. I'm just going to continue to self-deprecate myself, so you can find me in the Phantom Zone Facebook group.
Chris is our Eeyore.
That's too fucking true.
Wow, that landed way better than I thought it was going to. Was that a courtesy laugh?
No, that was perfect.
All right, make sure you join the Phantom Zone group if you're not part of it. Follow us on the WordPress.
Who the hell is Tigger?
Probably me.
Does that make me Eeyore?
I could also, well, and Hunter's definitely Pooh because he sleeps all the time.
That's true. I do.
Does that make Alan Rabbit?
Maybe. Who am I then? Am I the owl?
You're definitely the owl.
Yeah.
You're the kid that was tripping on LSD.
I buy it.
Oh yeah.
All right, everybody. See you next week. Bye. Okay.